think a time where I didn't feel accepted was back in like primary and secondary school, where I used to be bullied due to like my looks, I guess. I was slightly chubbier, and then what do you call that? My grades were slightly above average. So because of that, you're the perfect kid in class for those bullies to pick on you, and yeah, that was a pretty terrifying experience.
The time I didn't feel accepted was when I just got my O-level results. I feel like it's because I'm the first one that had O-levels, because my older brother, he didn't go through O-levels because he was from IP stream, so maybe they didn't know how to react.
Older generation, they'll think that like they prefer like boys over girls, like what you call 重男轻女啦。可能因为我小时候读书不是很好，所以like我觉得可能这方面的话我没有很能够让他们骄傲。然后相比于另外2个表姐表哥会比较like逊色一点啦。然后可能就是在这方面没有所谓的得到长辈们的认可。
I was in volleyball, and then my clique, right, like my CCA clique, 5 of them, all of them were in the main team. And then at that time, I felt like a bit left out because like we don't really have a common topic. Because like whatever happens in their training, right, I'm not there to like experience it also. And then whatever in my training, like whatever happened in my own training, they also like don't really relate to me. I think after time, you just feel like you don't really like match them. And then like your vibes don't really click anymore because like you're experiencing 2 different things. And then at that time, they probably don't mean it, but then like for me, I just felt like I wasn't really accepted.
It was during my secondary school days. I had this really close friend group of like 4 to 5 people, and then we usually hung out during lessons and then during recess, and then we had this friend group for about 3 years, and then it was only after we graduated, and then I started noticing that they were not exactly including me in their outings. So like the other 4 of them, they'll just go out on their own, whereas I didn't even know about it until I checked my Instagram and said, oh, they went out together to eat. So like other than talking shit about me, they called me like negative and toxic.
To me, it's like, why on earth are you doing this to me? And eventually I got terms with it. So yeah, I stood up for myself, and eventually the things stopped because I talked to them, and whatever things happened, and yeah, when there's that verbal communication done, things were okay, and eventually they stopped bullying.
I couldn't really do anything because like they were very busy with like their comm schedule and everything. So for me, what I did was at that point there was like a annual track and field competition, and then like my teacher said like I can go and try. So by doing that, right, then I kind of like just distract myself from the fact that we're not as close as last time.
I wouldn't say I really overcome it, but after finding out the truth, I went to think about whether I actually have been negative towards them in a sense. Like I went to reflect on what I have done for them and how I behave towards them, etc.
I feel that I didn't really like overcame it because even up till today, I still feel that a lot of times my grandparents still love my other cousins more because like I feel that I don't meet their expectations or meet their bar, like the so-called perfect grandchildren. Yeah, and I don't like do as well as them. So I feel that I'm not like super like loved or accepted.
I don't think I had to overcome it. It's sort of like just like go with the flow and accept that okay, that's just how it will be.
I think definitely like since young, I feel like every kid would want to seek acceptance from their parents or like elders.
Sometimes I feel like I'm a bit more of a people pleaser, so I would strive for acceptance. But now I'm also realizing that being yourself is more important than trying to be accepted from other people, because if you're not yourself while trying to get acceptance from other people, you kind of lose yourself in the process. I think yes, for like towards my like 长辈, is sort of a form of validation to whatever I've done.
I think seeking for acceptance has never really been something I was trying hard for, but it's more of like I wish to be accepted for who I am. I wish to be understood, but just unfortunately I didn't really get a chance to do so. And eventually as I grew older, I think I got to terms with it.
For me, I feel like being accepted is what validates you at that age. So I think like no matter, even if you say like you don't really like suck up to people, but a part of you will still want to be accepted by everyone around you. Acceptance comes with time.
I feel that as time passes, I'll slowly learn to accept myself, because accepting yourself is like a form of loving yourself in a way. So when you give yourself like the treatment that you deserve, like you treat yourself well, you're also accepting that this is your personality, this is who you are.
As much as I'm trying to seek acceptance from others, I don't really like think of like accepting myself, because I feel that even if I'm the one that's always letting like other people down, then I'm obviously also letting myself down, because I get the disappointment looks from others. Yeah, so I haven't really like thought of like self-acceptance in general.
I think when I was much younger, no, because like I'm more of a people pleaser, so I put others like their emotions before mine, and I tend to suppress my own emotions.
As I grew older, I came to terms with it like, it's fine. This is who I am, and this is how I'm gonna accept myself.
I think acceptance, there's two different meanings. One is like in a situation, accepting that something has happened is like forgiving the person and like letting go of what had happened. So it's like not holding any grudges and letting the past be in the past and moving on and not let it affect the future.
There's two ways. So the first way is like accepting a situation. So for that, accepting a situation for me is like I can move on. Like I don't really have to forget, but I just have to come in terms with it and then like can move on without like having it at the back of my head all the time. Accepting myself is like learning that whatever I feel is validated. Like I have to validate it even if I don't want to, or even if I don't like feeling that way. I will have to know that this is what I'm feeling and that is the fact. So like knowing that I'm feeling this, like I have to learn to process the feelings lah.
I feel that acceptance means like being known and loved by the person that you really care about, regardless of what kind of person you are. Like if the person accepts you, then like and love you for who you are, then I feel like that's acceptance.
I think acceptance has a very broad meaning. So it's not just trying to accept other people for who they are. It's about accepting yourself as well.
I think acceptance, to me, it's about really getting to know yourself, and then how would you like to treat yourself. If this is who you are, act like who you are, be real, and yeah, that's about acceptance.